Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Nerd Den here once again, and in today's video I am going to be doing my top 5 episodes that I would recommend for newcomers of Doctor Who that want to get engrossed into the show. And you know, there's a lot of people that want to watch Doctor Who, and obviously Doctor Who has a big history. Now, obviously there's loads of jumping on points that you don't have to necessarily watch from the first 1963 episode. You don't even have to watch from the first episode of the revival, to be honest. But there are certain jumping on points that I would definitely recommend for new viewers to get engrossed into the show. So without further ado, let's get into this top 5 list. Now, before I do, I just want to say that this isn't necessarily in any chronological order, that, you know, anything that's on this list, I would just like to say that I've chosen these just because I do like these episodes for what they are, and it's not like a preference over the other one in the list whatsoever. But with that out of the way, let's get into the top 5. So, the first episode I would definitely recommend for newcomers is the episode Rose. That is the first episode in the revival, surprisingly enough. And this introduces the companion Rose, but also reintroduces the character of the Doctor as a mysterious person that is a time traveller that has cropped up throughout various points in Earth's history. And, you know, it does a really good job at reintroducing the Doctor for a modern audience, and does make him sound very mysterious and dark as well. And I do like the comical tone with Christopher Eccleston, while mixed with a very serious tone as well. You get the plastic window dummies as well, and obviously it being introduced to Rose's family and obviously her character as well, and seeing how she starts off with a normal human life and then she gets thrown into this world of aliens and danger, and just seeing her character develop just in that episode by itself is something of a treat. Now, for the next episode on the list, I would have to say I would recommend the 50th anniversary special, Day of the Doctor. Now, you're going to look at this and be like, wait, hang on, the 50th anniversary special that celebrates the show's past? Well, it does, but it actually looks more towards the future and is a brilliant jumping on point for fans, because you get to explore the character of the Doctor through various different incarnations. You're introduced to the 11th Doctor, who is someone that chooses to forget the Time War. You're introduced to the 10th Doctor that's still grieving over the Time War and his involvement. And then the War Doctor, played by John Hurt, who is currently in the Time War and is at the point where he is going to essentially kill all Time Lords and Daleks in existence. That is a big choice for his character. And for newcomers, you'd be able to obviously explore these different incarnations of the Doctor and, you know, get to decide which one's your favourite and then watch their respective seasons after, except for the War Doctor, sadly, because he only appeared in one episode. But that's the point. You know, you get to experience all these different personalities of the Doctor, you get used to the time travel as well, the whole timey-wimey situation of Doctor Who, and it just works really well, and it's a big blockbuster episode. You know, there's plenty of Daleks, Zygons, and, you know, once you rewatch this episode after watching a few more episodes in the seasons prior to this, you're going to be like, okay, I understood that reference, and there's going to be loads of other things you're going to notice as well. But personally, I don't think you need any prior knowledge to watch this episode. You can just watch this as your first episode, your first big blockbuster Doctor Who episode, and yeah, I think it is a brilliant jumping on point for newcomers. Now, the third episode I would recommend for newcomers would be the episode Blink, that served as the introduction to the Weeping Angels and is one of the best horror episodes in Doctor Who. And guess what? It doesn't even have the Doctor or their companion in it at all. And we get introduced to the lady Sally Sparrow and her friends and all that. And it's pretty interesting that, you know, it doesn't feature the Doctor or their companions at all. And it still serves as a brilliant episode. And obviously the Weeping Angels are really menacing in this special episode. To be honest, I say a special episode like it's a anniversary special. No, it's a special episode from the way it has the horror tone, but it doesn't go over the top with it. It has creatures that basically kill their victims nicely. It sends them back in time and they age to death. They age to the point where they age back to the present day and they die, near enough. And it's basically where they kill their victims nicely. It's a nice twist to the usual slasher villains or anything like that. And yeah, it's a brilliant way to scare newcomers, but obviously to get them engrossed into the show just that little bit more. Now, for the second to last episode I would recommend for newcomers is the episode Dalek. That is the first time the Daleks are reintroduced into the modern series of Doctor Who with Christopher Eccleston's Doctor, and this is where we learn that the Daleks were the opposing force in this mysterious time war. That was a big event that essentially wiped out the Time Lords, and the mysterious threat that is revealed in this episode to be the Daleks. And obviously the fact that this episode only has one Dalek, but is still a fantastic episode, just proves that the Daleks are menacing enough just by themselves. And obviously the Dalek in this episode does have a little bit of a twist as well, where we get to see inside the Dalek and get to see more of a human side to it as well. But it's nice to just see that whole dynamic between Christopher Eccleston's Doctor that desperately wants to kill this Dalek, and then obviously this Dalek that's starting to turn away from killing after slaughtering an entire army and obviously a bunch of innocent people as well. And then is like, what's the point of living if I can't do what I was built to do, and that is to slaughter everyone? And this Dalek essentially takes its life. It's a pretty dark dynamic, but it is an excellent one for newcomers, as they get to explore the reason why the Doctor hates the Daleks so much. Now, for the last episode I would recommend for newcomers is the Christmas Invasion. That was the first Christmas special of the modern Who, and it obviously it takes place after the 9th Doctor regenerates into the 10th Doctor, played by David Tennant. And you know, it's a good episode to jump onto, as you get to see the effects of regeneration. And obviously for most of the episode, the 10th Doctor is out of action. He simply can't function. And for me, that works well for newcomers, because you get to explore the whole regeneration process. That for a lot of people that don't watch Doctor Who, it must be a confusion when there's like a new actor that's in the role. They must think like James Bond, it's a reboot. But no, it's just a continuation from where the show previously was on. It's, you know, it is a good episode for explaining that concept of regeneration, and obviously the effect it has on the main character, and obviously the characters surrounding the Doctor at the time. But apart from that as well, it's a good episode to see the Christmas themes being explored in Doctor Who, and to get some festivities as well at this time of the year as well. It would be good to have some reminders of Christmas, and you know, for a hard year as well, to get some festivities in your house. But yeah, anyway, thank you very much for tuning in today. If you have enjoyed, leave a like, rating and subscribe, and I will see you all on my next video. Goodbye for now.